myself, no background noise or anything. The carrier that was here on and off for the past 5 minutes is...
How's everybody doing? K1GMM, Steve, Vermont. Jared tipped me off to an update to SDR console. This is just freaking amazing, man. It's unbelievable. Hey, Carl, how's it going? Good to see you from Wisconsin. And Joey Buttafuoco. How do you guys get those cool little, what do you call them? Emoticons? Is that what they're called? Where do you guys come up with stuff like that? I consider myself such a kind of a geek, but I guess I'm not, and my number one's always crooked. Maybe my call sign's trying to tell me something. Maybe I'm kind of crooked or something. I don't know. Check into the chat. Paul, how's it going, man? Carl, see, you guys, knock it off. Let me do a life hacks really quick. This is so stupid. I can't believe I'm still doing this. I can't wait till this is over. Life hacks, 29th. It is the 29th, right? Stick Velcro to the back of your remote and the side of your coffee table. You'll never lose your remote again. Trust me, I'll lose it. A dog will probably take it, rip it off, and chew it up into a million pieces, knowing that psycho. What's up, Bill? How's it going? So I'm going to just walk you guys through a little bit. Well, let me give you an update as to what's going on. The guys who are privy to the Face8 group love life hacks. It's ridiculous. So the guy, anybody who's privy to the Face8 group, I've been really getting into satellites, man. I really like this stuff. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Since I got into the hobby, and I always kind of like it. And JJ the Jet Plane, W4ZXT, who's creeping around in the chat, I see, sent me a video like 2 weeks ago, coming up to 2 weeks ago. And I got watching this video and I thought, I got to do this, man. I got to at least try this. So I will be doing a big shindig on satellite work. What I found, I'm no expert, I'm learning, but I've been having a great time. Made a bunch of contacts today on a series of passes on AO91, AO92. What is it, the AO85? I think that's it, which is basically dead. It's putting out next to nothing. And I'll share with you guys what I've found. I'll give you guys maybe some operating suggestions, like what I'm doing to make it easier. It's kind of like working satellites. There's two things about working satellites. This is all I'm going to say about it to kind of preempt what's coming. It's like working a 36-hour contest in a window of 10 minutes. That's the first thing. Second thing is you have to be a member of a circus because it's like a circus act. You have to move the antenna, control the antenna, you have to run the radio, and you have to write down or somehow get the call signs. Now you need at least 3 hands, and you only have 2. So I have some things that I've come up with which are very cheap and incredibly easy that I'm going to show you guys on how to, if you're interested in satellite work, what's the easiest, cheapest way to do it that will aid operation within that madness, because it is mad. It's fast. It's right up my alley. I love crap like that. If you get 1 contact in 3 passes, you're doing good. I've gotten it up to about 3 contacts per pass now after only a few days, but there's definitely a technique for working these things. There's a way to be polite. You have to exercise a little restraint, but know when to pull the trigger. It's tricky because you don't want to stomp on anybody and you don't want to dominate. You're not the only person in there. I mean, It's a madhouse. It's fun. It's fun. So, and the nice part is it only takes 10 minutes. You know, it's not like you're sitting there at the radio for an hour, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours at a time. You got to come up with a portable setup and go out and knock around for a few minutes. That's all it takes. It's really cool. But I'll share with you guys, I've just a ton of things that I'm learning, which for a newbie, the digital voice recorder, I'm going to get into that, Carl, because I tried that. I'll just go ahead and say this right now. That doesn't work for me. I'll tell you why. It's because things come at you so fast that you have to write down the call signs. I don't have the memory to remember all the call signs. So what I found is I'm actually going to I'm going up to the dollar store. I'm going to find some pads of paper. They're about like this, right? Pads of paper. I'm going to mount a clip to a little cutting board. If I can't find a little clipboard, I'm going to screw that sucker right to the freaking control arm on the antenna array, because I'm running the array with an extension pole, right? And it's got a remote PTT for the radio with a headset that I'm wearing. It's beautiful the way this thing works. Almost hands-free. You can PTT the radio, control the antenna all with one hand and one finger. So I can't remember the call signs, and it's happening so fast. So what I do is I'll hear, let's say I'll hear W4ZXT listening. I'll just, if I have that pad mounted right to the control arm, I'll just jot that call sign down. So I'll grab a couple call signs, right? This is if I'm listening. Now, this will apply, this is great if you're calling. So let's say I hear W4ZXT listening, Kilo 1 Alpha Bravo listening. I write them down on the pad immediately, and then I wait for the drop, and then I call Kilo 1 Alpha, or W4 Whiskey 4 Zulu X-Ray Tango, Kilo 1 Golf Mike FN33, and I wait. If he comes back and he gives me a grid, I just write the grid down. And I have all the call signs right there in my face. Anyone I don't work, I just cross off. It's so fast, and there's so many people in there, it's virtually impossible for me to remember. So that's the way my brain works. I tried the audio recorder thing. Let me show you guys this. This is hilarious. Phone, right? I know we're digressing. This is about a whole different subject, but I'm just filling you in on, this is a couple things I found. So this is a standard Android phone. I'm not going to go into the app. I use a particular app. It's amazing. It's absolutely phenomenal. I want the phone in front of me. The problem is there's not enough room on the extension handle, because I have a duplexer, I have the HT, and I have the pad on the boom. And that leaves about this much sticking out for my hand to go with a remote PTT underneath, right? Use a UV5R. You don't need anything but a UV5R. That's it. Cheap. Build both of the antennas for $20 bill. And they're smoking guns. I kid you not. They're really, really good antennas. This, I was like, well, I don't really want to hold on to this all the time. So what do? So my wife, this is just a regular case, you know, like a rubber case, impact case. I think I got it for $10 off of Amazon, whatever. Drill 2 holes through the back of it, right? My wife has this stainless steel jewelry wire for making jewelry and necklaces. She makes prayer beads. So I had her make a loop of this and then crimp it on the inside. And she has all of these things that you hang name tags on from all the conferences she's gone to and everything. So there you go. You just use one of these, clip it on, throw your array up, and the antenna's hanging around your neck, or the phone's hanging around your neck all the time. Running the antenna, PTT, looking at the phone, checking azimuth elevation and path of the satellite every once in a while, drop it, write your notes down on the pad, write your call signs down, your grid squares, check the phone, drop it. You see where I'm going? Everything is like right here and your hands are free. So there you go. That's what I've been doing. It's ridiculous, isn't it? On to the meat and potatoes. I wish I could do that, Carl. You know what I'm thinking about, Carl, doing is building. Unfortunately, it's impractical here to work satellites from the house. But any path that is like southeast to northwest, southwest to northeast, north to south, and vice versa, those are all good paths for me here. So I've been trying to figure out, okay, how do I work those suckers from the station? How do I set that up? So I made a mistake. I put up the VHF array. I shouldn't have done that. Now what I'm thinking is I'm going to build an antenna for satellites. I'm going to rip the 6 meter beam down because I hate 6 meters and I'm done with 6 meters. Freaking worthless. So from here, absolutely worthless. And the conditions were crap this year here in this part of the country. So what I'm thinking about doing is I have a rotator, but I don't know how to weatherproof it. This is what I'm working on. I have a complete system using motor drives to change the tilt, because that's really important, and also the elevation. I have the rotation, the azimuth, that's not a problem, but I'm working on building a system that's remotely driven from here using a camera mounted on the peak of the house looking at the antennas, so I can run the whole damn thing from here, from the shack. That would be cool, and it would be pennies on the dollar. Basically, it would involve 2 motor drives, which I have. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. I gotta figure that out. Anyways, on the SDR console, I'm gonna just walk you guys through that aren't familiar, that have never tried SDR console. I'm gonna show you a couple things with it. So enough of my the stupid satellite crap. All right. So first thing I noticed, superb S meter, and this S meter is bang on. It is totally locked up to the radio. Absolutely brilliant. Let me pull the audio on. Ah, cool. That noise you just heard is a satellite. So, I'll go ahead and remute this. So, a couple things I noticed. There's something over here. I have no idea what this is for yet. If you look in your filter section, the mode section, there's a wide USB that they added in here. I didn't think that was in here, but it may have been in there. I don't know. Anyways, let me get this. Okay. I'll get the ribbon bar viewed. One of the most amazing things that he has done is he's got a cluster spotter overlay enabled on your pan adapter. The only other software, to my knowledge, now I'm referring to software that is interfaceable to an HF rig. This is what I use it for. I don't use it for listening. I use SDR Sharp for listening on the SPY server. This is for running your HF rig. First thing is the meter. It's absolutely superb. And I can't remember. So anyways, if you go up here, right, and you go to view in the tab, you'll see DX cluster. If you click on this, it will open a window over here. All right, by default, this won't be active. So the VE7CC I found is one of the best clusters out there. So you can choose your cluster here. I choose VE7 CC, put your call sign in, hit connect. If you don't want the cluster up, you can go ahead and close it. I don't care. Because it's really irrelevant once I show you this. Look at this. Hello, Steve. You gotta love this crap, man. So, it takes probably, 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and you will see. Ooh, there's Iñaki. I gotta talk to him. See, you would never know it. And it puts all of the spots on the band you're currently on in SDR console on to the spectrum. Right here, F5RAG. That's Iñaki. He's a very dear friend of mine. There he is. 158.5. We got not sure what that is right there. CR51DX 2E0YYY stroke portables up here. So these are all the active spots, and it places them on here. Now, the only other software I'm aware that does this is the Flex Jared, what's it called? I can't remember. I'm having a brain out. Oh, God. It's a software they run with the Flex. So that is a powerful feature. That to me is brilliant. The other thing, which is kind of nice, which I haven't really played with, is your colors. So if you go to view and you go to color, they added some new colors here. So what I've noticed, this is a little garish. Like when I'm running working a contest, it's a little fatiguing on my eyes. So there are some more subdued colors in here. Like that's really soft. That's really nice. The blues, that's really nice. That's subdued. You know, so you can mess with the colors a little bit. I'm trying to think of what else to. Oh, there's another thing they added, which is kind of handy. Let me get out of this. Minimize the ribbon. So if you go up here to your sound card properties, they added an equalizer button here, which is nice. You can open the EQ right from here. You don't have to go fishing in the menu, into tools or up here into your settings. You can go to your equalizer. You can enable it, disable it, whatever, which is really nice. Also has a pseudo stereo function right there. It's all very streamlined. It's very good. Anybody running an HF Plus, I would highly recommend to do the reflash the firmware. They have had several firmware updates, and the HF Plus combined with SDR console is second to none. It's absolutely freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing. I would highly recommend that. If you haven't flashed it, I would say in the past 2 months, I would get online and I would go ahead and do the firmware updates on it, because this software is really the kill box for the HF Plus. The two go hand in hand, and they are pretty much second to none right now. I've listened to Anons, and I actually prefer the receive of this SDR console with the HF Plus over an Anon, believe it or not. So, Power SDR, that's it. Yeah, Power SDR. But that cluster overlay, if you work events and you're a DX chaser, that is freaking huge. That is huge. The one thing that I've been wanting, right? And I'm waiting for them to come up with this. And this is an issue. Hold on, let me see if... No. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. The one thing that I'm waiting for, there's only one thing really left on this software. Hey, Dave, what's going on? How are you? There's one thing I'm waiting on, is a hotkey, programmable hotkey for the PTT for this software. I'll tell you why. Let me see if I can demo this. I'm trying to figure out exactly how to do it. Here's how to do it. Okay. So if I go over to here, okay, I drag, this is the PTT keyer for log4OM. Now, if I key the radio, let me put it on 0% drive so I don't interfere with. I actually go to a frequency that's clear. What happened? My PTT. There we go. She's back. Okay. Here's the issue with what we are doing with this software, and this is a prevalent issue, and it's a little annoying. A PTT hotkey that would initiate a PTT command to the radio from SDR console would be the icing on the cake. That would be epic, and I'll tell you why. Because when I key the radio, I'm on the foot switch right now. So I'll key the radio. Let me bring up the audio. Hold on. I'll see if I can get it to do it. It does it sometimes, other times it doesn't. So I'll key the radio. This is the PTT on the radio, okay, connected to the 7300. Here we go. Okay, that was clean. Most of the time it's clean. I'll key it again. Okay, hear that little, sometimes you get a little kerchunk. See if I can get it to do it. Oh, there you go. Hear that little, just a little chirp. Hear that? Okay, now that's from the radio to the computer. It's keying the software from the radio, right? So this is the PTT in log4OM. This is software to the radio. Check this out. You can do this as many times as you want, and you will never hear that kerchunk. And the reason why is because, let me mute this. It's much quicker. Like when the software sends a command to the radio, it sends the command instantly. It's non-zero latency, but there's virtually no catch-up time. Whereas if you key the radio, right, with a floor switch PTT or a TT on a mic, there is an element of latency between what's going from the radio and getting to the software because it's going through the computer. That's the catch. If they came up with a PTT button hotkey for SDR console, and no, I'm not interested in using anything else but SDR console, just to let you know, Rod. I don't know what Win4 ICOM. I don't know what that is. Win4 ICOM. I have no idea what that is. Win4 ICOM, what is that? I'll look it up right now while we're here. Win4 ICOM. Oh, if that's if that is using the IF out of the radio, that's garbage. No, that ain't gonna work. ICOM, now can it be Win4 ICOM suite? Ooh. Ew. Okay, explain to me. Jeez, I wish you were on Zello. How much do you have to pay for this? Icon VA2 FSQ. Download and buy. Yeah, I figured you'd have to buy it. See, this is why I love people like Simon Brown. They come up with this like second to none software, and all they ask for is a donation, which I've been meaning to say, if you guys run this, don't be afraid, please donate. He puts an awful lot of work into this. So this looks like basically a control surface for the icon. See, the problem is I'm not using what it looks to me. Let me go over here. See, I'm not even using the front end of the icon is garbage compared to the HF Plus. It is. It's total crap. The HF Plus with SDR console smokes the 7300's front end. It's the 7300's front end is absolutely worthless in my opinion. I know I get a lot of people hating me for saying that, but if you try this, you'll never use the front end of the 7300 ever again. So yeah, this is basically just a control surface. See, this has parameters. All I want is a PTT. That's it. That's all I need. Everything else is everything else is all on the HF Plus. That's the front end. That's the receiver. The only reason I'm using the 7300 is for the TX. That's it. So I don't want to get sidetracked. Control surface. It'd be nice to have a key, some type of a keyer. Here's the issue again, which I'll share with you guys. The issue with Log4OM, right? You have to click it with a mouse. That's a pain in the butt because when you're working an event, you want a hotkey. You want just boom, like you could set it up on your minus or plus key on the keyboard. Boom, keys the rig. Screw all this other stuff, right? The problem with Log4OM is there's no hotkey for it. That sucks. In a contest environment, right? That's huge. Because you can take the mechanical end of things. You got instant keying on the software to the rig with a hotkey built in the software. And keep in mind, you have a logging program running simultaneously, sharing the same COM port. Now, Log4OM is not a contest. You can't do contests with that software. Don't even waste your time. You need another piece of software. Now, and I've looked for I use WriteLog. It's very clean. It's very streamlined. I don't have any issues with it. I know there's other software, but there's no hotkey PTT function in that. Again, that sucks. So you're kind of busted, but I didn't want to go on this big, massive freaking rant about that. But that's something I know a lot of us are waiting on, which would be really, really cool. Yeah, see, that went for you. That's fine if you're using the front end of the rig, but I'm not. It has all these all I need is a PTT. That's all. I'm not using the 7300, the receiver, for anything, nor would I ever again. So, that's the problem. An Honor Flex. Yeah, I'm not even going down that road. This is one step away. This right here, think about this, for $200. Now, you don't get the TX ability that you get with the Honor Flex, but the 7300 is no slouch on TX. Throw a little rack gear on it. You don't need much. basically 2 pieces of rack gear would get a 7300 sounding damn close to an Anon at 3 kilohertz wide. Pretty freaking close. And it'll smoke a flex. So you think about that, $200 for an HF Plus. You got software that's free. The only thing missing is a hotkey PTT. And I'm telling you, man, it's a weapon of a system, and you can put this on any radio that you can grab an IF out on. That's the insane part right there. That's insane. So, but it's not for everybody. You know, some people like their conventional superhits. They like the noise, the hash, the trash, all the other stuff. I can't do that anymore. But I'll end it with one story. This is kind of funny. I was chatting with a fellow, this is maybe a month ago. And he said, yeah, I tried something. I can't remember what it was. Some kind of SDR thing. He said, I dropped the key and there's nothing there. And I said, yeah, that's a beautiful thing, ain't it? He says, I didn't like it. Or I said, what do you mean? What do you mean you didn't like it? He says, it's not right, you know? And he couldn't get used to it, but he's been in the hobby for like 40 years. He's used to turning on the radio. Even when someone's talking, he's used to hearing that and people blasting into your passband and all the hash and trash and crap that comes in, you know, it's all over the bands. When you get used to hearing that, you don't know what to do when you drop the key. You think somebody just shut the set off, but that's what it's like. You drop the key and it's like you can hear a pin drop. It's beautiful, man. But like I said, it's not for everybody. That's the problem. Some people just can't, their brain can't process that. I like it. It's not much different. Well, I should say the HF Plus is very different. The HF Plus wide open compared to the 7300 wide open, you won't listen to 7300 very long. I can guarantee that. If you hear the HF Plus wide open and the 7300 wide open, it's no contest between the two. The Air Spy wins as far as being able to listen to it. You know, so I don't know. It's a tough call, and I hear H&R stomping stuff. Jared, are you still in there? That's funny, Carl. Yeah, some guys they can't cope with the silence, you know, and it's unnerving when you first hear it if you never heard it before, but boy, it's so soothing to listen to. H&R stomping stuff is coming down the stairs because she just flipped the lights on. Let's see if she comes in. Jay, are you still in there? W4ZXT, I'll bring you in on Zello if you're still there, if you want to comment on anything. Waiting for the door to open. You can tell that I'm like seriously biased, but I just want to cap the whole thing off. This is what works for me. It's not for everybody. It's not. So I kind of like this stuff, but some people just want to keep it simple, throw a set in front of you and turn it on and run. I like that too, to be honest with you. I'd love a big flagship set sitting in front of me. I would have a pan adapter as a control surface, and like that software you guys were talking about, with the on-screen control surface, and I would run the radio, just standalone. I would do that. I guess she's not coming in. Okay, Jay, let me bring Zello on, and then we'll wrap this whole thing up. I may try and make a few contacts across the pond quick after you're done. I'll see if I crash the whole thing. I have popcorn in my teeth. Is that too much information? What happened to Zello? Hello? Zillow's not loading. Okay. Let me see if I can get it quick. If this isn't going to work. There it is. Okay. I'm going to bring the live stream.
You know you're not supposed to call her stomping stuff over the air, right?
Oh, God. All right. I got to turn the volume down because this is going to, and I got to put the headphones on because this is going to loop like crazy. So, all right, Jared. Go ahead, hit me, and then I'm probably just going to tie it off and bug out of here for a little bit. I may see if I can work a couple guys, see if Inyaki's still in there. I may try and work him, but go ahead, man. How you doing? W4ZXD, K1GMM.
Let me see if that massive hum is still there, Steve. When you opened Zillow there for a second, it had a hellacious hum. Let me see if that's still there.
Yeah, I heard a big hum, like a 60 cycle hum on your signal. Last time I pushed a stream when you were in here on Zillow. Don't know why.
Oh my gosh, this is probably my phone. 20 is still open to Europe, by the way. That looks really, really good, man. See, I haven't had time to update it yet. I just saw, as soon as I saw that, I shot it over to you. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna look nice," but I didn't know. I didn't know if you would like the meters, because I know you like your the digital meter that goes across. But yeah, I see what you're talking about now with the cluster. Yep, you know what I'm going to be doing tonight. But yeah, try not to get us all killed, man. Calling her stomping stuff. I thought it was her nickname. It's just Steve ragging on her. How she tolerates you, man. That's beyond me. Yeah, the color change in that is good. I'll tell you one thing, man. I would put the HF Plus with the updated console, Simon's console, against the receive on a Flex. And I kind of agree with you that the front end of the 7300 is garbage. It's just too, I don't know the word for it, man, other than abomination. It's terrible. It's just hashy, you know, like. And that's weird that you brought that up, that guy thought he didn't like it. And it kind of, you know, it takes you back to the, Steve, you remember you did the video on signal to noise ratio? You know, a lot of us like the signal to noise ratio to be low noise, high signal. If I had to listen to that all the time, man, I would probably beat my head against something. But I think the only superhead radio that I've heard that can come close to it is the Kenwood 890, and they're like, what, $3,500 now, Steve?
Yeah, I have got. Who's with me? Who wants to take a trip to HRO because I wanna check out that 890. What really concerns me, I'll throw this at you, Jared. As we talked about this, what really concerns me is I would spend money on a rig like that, and I'd end up using the HF Plus on the front end of it. because I've gotten so used to, see, even an 890 does not have AGC threshold capability. It doesn't. It doesn't have, it can't do what we do with this stuff. For $200, it just can't. It doesn't have that ability. It is superb, I've heard, but dude, I don't know how you feel about that. I would find the nearest freaking tree. I would find the nearest tree and I would hang myself from it if I spent $4,000 on a radio and ended up using an HF Plus on it because I couldn't stand listening to the crap. But who wants to go to HRO and check out one of those 890s? Because man, that is just, if there's a radio that makes me wet myself, that's one of them for sure.
Yeah, and then it goes back to the whole, do you really want to spend money on this part of the downward spiral that we're in? Is it going to last another 10, 20 years? You know, nobody really knows. So, and yeah, you're right. SDR console on this particular SDR, I don't know how it performs on other SDRs that, you know, like SDR Play and stuff like that actually split the receive.
Oh my God, Carl!
Man,
get out of here!
The back end of the 7300 is just. Yep, I would do the same. You know, I would go back and I would have an 890 here, and I would be trying to figure out how to hook up the damn thing.
Look at the chat.
The air spa to it. You know what I mean?
Jared, look at the chat.
It's fun, man. It's just, I mean, you can blow everything up on a 32-inch TV, or as big a TV as you want to put in the shack, and it looks impressive, you know. It looks really good once you get in here playing with things. I was actually, last night, I was talking to Mike and Jimmy, the VZ5Q, and I haven't heard that guy in like 12 years, man, since we talked last, and he had moved and went through some things like the rest of us, but I was just sitting there on 80 at night, right? 75, 80 meters at night. God awful. You could take the threshold on SDR console, roll that AGC over to like negative 65, and it's them talking, and then it's not them talking. It's a lot like, it kind of reminds me of like a hybrid between AM and FM. Is that kind of what you get from it too, Steve?
Good grief, dude. What a great way to, what a great way to explain that to someone. It's like when someone stops talking, right? And you drop the carrier, the squelch closes and it's gone. That's what it's like. It's like, one thing I have noticed, I don't know if you guys see, I'm on an old dinosaur of a computer. Carl, I don't know if you noticed this. W2TC, hey Corey, how's it going? I'm checking pirates in there from Florida. We got some Bikini State folks in there. Guys, you need to send us some bikini pictures. The 101D, that's interesting you said that about the 101D, because that's something Jared and I have we've talked a lot about that. I think the 101D for a standalone transceiver has, from what I saw, has the most amazing noise reduction system I've ever seen in a standalone transceiver, period. That thing is freaking amazing. I just saw that post. Jared, check out the chat. Carl said the HF Plus is better. I own a 590 SG, which is no slouch. That's a great radio. And I've used the 890. The HF Plus is better. See that, dude? You spend almost $4,000 when that thing comes out, and you end up throwing a $200 HF Plus on it. Oh, I'm telling you, man. You guys can take your $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 radios and you can cram in your wazoo. That's awful to say, isn't it? Go ahead, Jared. Yeah, there's a hurricane coming in, right? Is there a hurricane? Somebody just said that. Pirate just posted that. Oh, I got an email from someone. Good Lord, that's where I saw it. Tonight, just before I got on the stream, I got an email from a guy that he's down in Florida somewhere. He said, my mag loop is a mess. I need you to call me. He gave me his phone number. He wants me to call him so I can help him get his mag loop straightened out before the hurricane comes in. I don't know if I can do that, man, from over the phone. So that's my mission. I'm going to try and call him later. Maybe tonight sometime or maybe tomorrow. Bikinis. Oh, the bikini state. Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, yeah, we need pictures. Hey, we can bring them in. They don't need a picture of them. We just need...
Pirate, send us some bikini pictures, man.
It beats the 890,
I'll bring them right
man.
into the stream.
That says a lot, dude. And you know what's funny is when you tell people what you're running on HF, they're like, oh, that's an SDR dongle. Yeah, they're cute. And it's really not. Like, this thing really performs well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, somebody ought to ship that to Sherwood in a freaking... Somebody ought to ship it up there to him and let him go through. He'd probably find something wrong with it, I don't know, but... Sherwood, the reports, I just can't take them seriously. Like, I think one guy here's got a 101 MP. Some of the 1000D, the MPs and stuff like that, they're still good radios, you know. And I wish I had a friend of mine in here. He could tell you actually how Sherwood goes about his reporting, but I wish that he could do some testing against other SDR devices like the SDR Play and the AirSpy HF Plus. But man, if we got Simon Brown on board, which I have a really good feeling that he's on board, the SDR console with the AirSpy HF Plus, yeah, this thing ain't going anywhere. Hasn't given me a minute's trouble. If it gets struck by lightning, I'll go buy another one. It's $200, man, and you can actually tap in, depending on your older rig, you can actually tap that into the first IF, and you can bring it out the back too on some radios. But you know, say like you got an 850 Kenwood, you can tap into the IF fairly easily if you have a steady hand and a pretty good soldering pin. But yeah, it's just, yeah, it's not going anywhere for a while, man. Until I want to think, Steve, I know you probably feel this way too, but I want to think that the SDR market, like, for not so much for these cheap El Cheapo dongles, but you know, the good, like the HF Plus and the Plays and stuff like that, I hope they continue to evolve, you know what I mean, to the point to where you can actually use them on transmit also, whether it be like in a small box or something like that. It doesn't have to be a ginormous computer looking thing. I just think that would be really neat, and still have the direct out, you know, for a full screen monitor. That would make it perfect, other than the hotkey issue. that would make it really nice, man, to be able to, you know, say adjust your transmit from 0 flat out to 3K or 0 flat out to 12K. Let's say you want an AM, and you can flip it to AM and go out to 20 responsibly, of course.
Yeah, it looks like just a sideshow. Another value of the cluster overlay. There was a VK station on the cluster. It disappeared now. We are past that time. The window is, if you're going to work VK right now on 40 from the northeast, it's very, very tight because they're going into daylight. Actually, they're deep into daylight now, so that window's come and gone. But, excuse me. Jared, when you were talking, I switched over to 40. It's there was a spot on the pan adapter VK in there. Freaking cool, man. Anyways, yeah, I agree with you, dude. I agree. I think, see, that's the thing. If you've got an older set, right, or a set that's really superb on TX, for $200 plus a little bit of cabling, you can bring that thing back to life, and it will be every bit as good as a $2,000 or $3,000 radio, and sometimes even better. Like what Carl said, it actually beats the 980. That's $3,000 plus right there. So if you've got like an old 101 MP, you've got an old Kenwood, you've got, any of these older rigs, if you can find a way to get an IF out of that sucker, you're good to go, right? Because that's the thing that Jared and I talk about a lot, is the issue with it's the issue with getting that TX ability, getting things opened up. Only specific transceivers you can do that with, so the 980 is very good. Now, is it worth spending literally, what are they, $3,600? I don't know, over $3,000 freaking dollars for just the ability to transmit beyond 3 kilohertz? Honestly, is that worth $3,000 plus dollars? In my mind, heck no. That's not worth $3,000, considering what the 7300 is capable of. Jared and I both push these rigs way out beyond what they're capable of being pushed. Easily 50 hertz, 60 hertz, all the way above 3 kilohertz. And the rig is only rated for a 2.9 kilohertz bandwidth. So is it worth gaining that little bit extra on the top end? So, because basically that's all you're gaining. You're only gaining what, Jared? Maybe you can push the 7300 out to, you're probably talking maybe 4 or 5 kilohertz on the, or not even, no. Differences between like what you can push the 7300 right now to about 3.3, 3.4. So you're only getting about 0.6 kilohertz, maybe half a K of bandwidth for over $3,000. So is that really worth it?
Right. And the part that I look at is the 100 hertz and below. Mm-hmm. I think the 890 modded through the menu mod, I think I want to say it's 20 to 30 hertz, whereas the 7300, you kind of have to push it a little bit to get it down to 50, but it will go. It just gives you a little bit of leeway, even at 3K. If you had that 40, 50, 60 hertz, where you could just play around with microphones, that's, But yeah, no, I'm not spending any money on that crap right now, dude. I applaud you if you have one. I'm jealous, but I'm not. So we figure out what the band conditions are gonna do, and if I have any extra money, I'm gonna throw it in antenna gear. That should be everybody's focus if they can get on the air. Is put all your eggs in the antenna basket, because that's where it's gonna matter.
Yeah, there's bad echoing, the guys told me. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Check the chat out, Jared. This is turning out to be a really interesting stream. The MP is a hybrid SDR with IF out worth hooking to the HF plus. The MP, I'm not sure which radio he's referring to. Dwayne. Yeah. Tempo 1, I'm not familiar with that. Tempo 1. Yeah, see Dwayne K4 BBN. He's check that post out in the chat, Jared, if you get a chance. Maybe you know what he's referring to. Let me MB1. See, now you guys have me stumped. So let me turn it over to you, Jared. Maybe you've got. There are other people on Zello. So if this is happening, see, this is a great conversation to have on the like in the stream. So I'll tell you what, you guys, I'm going to throw this out there again. If you guys want to get in, it's in and out. Why is it in and out? I don't know why that's happening. No idea. So if you guys want to get in here on Zello, all you have to do is just send me a picture. See that picture of Jared? I need a picture. No, because you get to look at my ugly puss, and you get to look at him. If you guys want to play this game, you got to send me a picture. I don't even care what it looks like. The MP. Yeah, so if you guys want to jump in on Zello, I'll pipe you in, man. You guys can chat about it on the stream. Information is power. Get it out there. So let me put it back to you, Jared, and then I'm going to mosey upstairs and see what's going on. Doesn't look like there's... VK2HRX is on the cluster on 40 meters, but I know for a fact we're not going to hear him here. Not at this hour. So let me put it back to you, Jared. I'm going to check this out.
Yeah, the Tempo 1, I'm not familiar with that. I'm aware of the... didn't they make a CB that was a Tempo 1? 11-meter rig. Is that it, Carl? Is it the CB radio that you're talking about, the Tempo 1? Yeah, the echo, Steve, is from your, I think it's your noise gates. Every once in a while you'll turn your head a certain way and I hear your reverb. Pretty pronounced reverb on there. I don't know if it's a setting in your compressor, or I can't remember if you have that one last in line. So yeah, they're talking about the echo. Yeah, man, we need people in here, guys. Come in. The 450 SAT, yes, you can do that mod. I actually have the plans for that, Pirate. The tap on that. You actually have to tap the first IF. I think it's 8.83 megahertz is where the tap is on the 450. A nice radio too, by the way. That was one of my first HF rigs, that and the 430. Henry radio. The Tempo 1 I'm thinking of, Steve, is the rig from the 70s. FT200. Yeah. Yeah, Carl. Yeah, I actually had one. See, I thought that's what you're talking about, but today's market, you don't know if somebody's ever, coming out with something new. Maybe a Tempo one from Flex. Oh shit. But yeah, man, that was a pretty neat little radio, man. To be honest with you, if I'm not mistaken, didn't it have like a chrome, case completely around it or something like that? Right? I'll turn it over to you, Steve, so you can see if you got your reverb correct there.
Yeah, I don't know. I made a change. I shut the reverb completely off. I got to take this out of line, by the way. My audio is like wicked hot. Back this down a bit. Terrifyingly hot. I just saw the meter spike bright red on OBS. So, TS850. Yeah, so hopefully this, see, it just did it again. Why is it doing so? This microphone, sorry about the noise, backing it away. This thing is like a freaking, it's like got a thermonuclear reactor in it or something like that. Hopefully that's better and it's okay. All right. I am going to get out of Dodge and I'm going to go up and check on something to eat. Let me take a peruse through 40 quick. I don't know if you guys have tried that pseudo stereo thing. I tried to listen to that and I just can't do it. It's brutal. Of course, if I was on the right sideband, it would help. What a tool. Freaking 40 is like an abomination. It's so noisy. It's been like this for a long time. I haven't been on HF in 2 weeks. Well, literally 2 weeks. And I'm probably missing out, but...
No problem, Donald. You got up to about a 5.9 here.
That's Frankie.
Go ahead and say 73. By the way, I'll just run I'm running here real quick. A IC 7300 and AL.
Very good. I've got you probably about a 15.
This would be just in the right frequency. Back then, in particular, I don't imagine that the circuitry wouldn't be a. I don't know. Maybe the stuff now is just as bad, but as you say, most people have cable or something similar to that. So not
165
of a problem.
165. Let me crack her open, see if I can hear you. I am pointed towards Europe. Boy, I got somebody right on top of you, dude. There he is. I got him. 2E0 Radio Lima Radio. Let me see if I can get you in there. Oh, freaking noisy. Unfortunately, I got someone right on you. There he is.
From 2 Echo 0 Radio Lima Radio.
Let me see. We'll see if we can get you in the log. How's that? You got to run the HF rig once in a while. Oof.
Hello,
CQ from 2 Echo 0 Radio, Lima Radio. 2 Echo 0 Radio, Lima Radio, calling the CQ 40 and by.
2E0 Lima Radio. Radio Lima Radio, 2E0 Radio Lima Radio. Rod, how copy? Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike.
Roger, there, Steve. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike from 2
Hey!
Lima Radio. How's it going there, Steve? And how's the stream going on? Very nice to hook up with you on 40 meters up in there, Steve.
Hey, Rod, what's going on, big dog? Yeah, good to hear you, man. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate your participation in the stream, and thanks very much for the information from before. And got a good, kind of surprising, good copy on you. What are you running there, Rod? I'll give you a report on the next over. 2E0 LRL, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. RLR. I have a little dyslexia, Rod. 2E0 RLR, K1GMM. Over.
Okay, QSO there, Steve. No problems at all.
Oh, I've worked him before.
5 and 7 over here with Q on November. 50 over here with Q on November. QTH, we're 30 kilometers south of the 30 kilometers south of the city of Leeds in the north of England. The working conditions on this side are running against to Fox Tango and Delta X-Ray 3000. The power is the 5 at 0, only 50 watts. 50 watts. And the antenna is an optical rotatable dipole. An optibeam rotatable dipole at the 13 meters, about 45 feet in the air.
Oh. Okay there, Rod. I want to make sure you finish. Yeah, we've got some pretty horrific static crashing going on. And my SWR, I'm not fully tuned. It's a little high. It's about a 1.1, 1.2 to 1, but it's no big deal. 50 watts, fantastic. No problem on the copy. A little rough. If you're watching the stream, I've got 5 to 10 over of static crashing, and you're about an S5. An S5 at best, peaking in S6, but it's no problem to copy you there, Rod. Give you working conditions quickly here, running about 100. I'm barefoot tonight, just pumping 100 watts and 40 meter parasitic delta loop array going northeast currently. So that's what's happening here, Rod. Back to you, buddy. 2E0 RLR K1GMM, over.
QSO there, Steve, on the working conditions. Like I said, I've got you at 5 and 7. I've got you at 57. I know things are a little rough. The propagation is not very good. It's great to hear you. Great to hear you, and lovely to meet you on the radio for the first time there, Steve. So I'm not going to hold it out. I just want to best to all the guys on the chat, and we'll talk again very soon. Best of the things there, Steve, from 2 Echo 0 Radio, Lima Radio.
Hey, 7-3 Rod, good to hear you, man. Thanks for picking up the call, and thanks for being a part of the madness, man. We'll catch you later. Have a good evening, and go get them. Nice signal. The bands are not... The UK is difficult at times for me. It's much easier to work into Eastern Europe than it is the UK. It's very odd the way that works. Oftentimes Italy, Germany is a walk in the park. But the UK is just, I don't know what it is, but you're making it in here, no problem. Very noisy on this side though, but I got every word there, Rod. 7-3, buddy. We'll catch you later. Have a good evening. 2E0 RLR K1GMM clear. It's all yours.
Okay,
Nice.
We're going to queue up lines onto the chart. 73.
Bye-bye now, 7-3, K1GMM.
Yeah, I think there was actually somebody was trying to break in on you with us there, Frank, but I had to keep turning the RIT on, and so he was.
Frankie.
He was a real.
He would, but I don't know whether there's an agent for it.
Oh, good grief. There he is, Jared.
So I don't know, but I know a few people in England have them. Oh, brother.
Right on schedule.
RON. Good evening, Ron, from K3RCA, Brian in Pittsburgh.
Don't hear who he's talking to. Man, there is nothing. There's nothing coming out of Europe.
To make a good product, like out of all the radios that I've had, although I must say I really like the audio on the Kenwoods, but the Icons seem to be a better all-round good radio, both in transmit and receive. What are you using for a microphone there, Steve?
I don't hear who he's talking to either. Band is wonky, man. That was an amazing contact, because I ain't hearing jack squat out of the UK, out of Europe. Nothing. Jeez.
Between the Pittsburgh area and Vermont there. So,
Hey.
yeah,
He's talking to somebody in Vermont.
Your QRZ page there. That's one heck of a fish you had on the line.
They're
A standard broadcast mic that it's been around forever, really. I bet you the foam was gone in it.
All right, well, there's nothing here to shake a stick at. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. This always turns into a zoo, doesn't it? I'll just put a post in here in the chat so it goes for everybody to see. And I guess, where are we at here? I guess I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. Say 7-3. Have a good evening, you guys. Thanks for joining us. And kind of an interesting discussion, but we'll see. Times are changing, and I'll tell you, man, at the rate things are going, oh, Greg. Greg, let me see if I can work you. Greg, are you still in there? Find a frequency. Greg, you near the radio? I wanna see if I gotta work Greg. I should be able to hear him. Yes, I did, Dave. Thank you. Thank you, Dave, by the way. Alex, we'll catch you later. Greg, are you still in there? 2E0 LXC, K1GMM, looking for you on 40. You want to try 40 meters? Go ahead and post in the chat, Greg. And I'll sit here and wait for a minute. And if you come back... Okay. All right, you're going to do it? All right, let me give you a frequency. You can look at the pan adapter. Well, I'll tell you what frequency is clear on my side, and you can tell me what is clear on yours. So I have a window. Uh, 173.5 is completely clear on my side, it looks like, Greg. To see where I'm at here. That's good enough. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use, K1GMM? We got Splatter Boy just above us. Lovely. Shouldn't be a problem. Nothing heard. 2E0 Lima X-Ray Charlie. 2E0 Lima X-Ray Charlie. 2E0 Lima X-Ray Charlie from Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike. How copy? No, there's somebody. Okay. 170. Hey, Glenn. Is this frequency in use? Okay. Greg, give me a frequency. Try Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? K1GMM. Hey, Glenn, how's it going? There's Glenn in Mississippi. Glenn, I'm actually pointed at Europe. You may have a rough time hearing me, but you may hear Greg. Oh, I hear somebody. I am wide open. E0 Lima X-Ray Charlie, 2E0 Lima X-Ray Charlie, 2E0 Lima X-Ray Charlie from Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Man, I can't. 2E0 Lima X-Ray Charlie, 2E0 Lima X-Ray Charlie from Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. No, I hear nothing. Band is crap. All right, you guys, figured I'd try. Glenn, hope all's well with you. I'm going to tuck tail and run. This was, as usual, supposed to be a real quickie, but it turned out to not to be, which is okay. So, we'll make it happen, Greg. We'll get on 20. This is incredibly noisy here tonight. Just to give you guys an indication, right? You want to talk about how quiet this HF Plus is? I'm going to show you this. I wish I could. I don't dare do it because I'm going to mess up the feed. So I've got, on the ICOM 7300 on the front end, I have an S6 to S9. Yep, S9 of static crashing. Look at this. S6 to S9 of static crashing. Look at this sucker. There's S9 right there. 10 over. S8. Look at that. That's the HF Plus right there you're seeing. Yeah. Tell me that isn't freaking beautiful, man. You got 10 over of static crashing, and it's barely bumping the needle on the HF Plus. 10 over on, there's 15 over on the ICOM 7300. Yeah. There's not a difference. No, SDR sucks. Okay, whatever. We'll catch you guys later. Carl, good to see you, man. Have a good evening, you guys. Off and running. I'm going to go upstairs. And I'm going to lay a big, messy slobber kiss on H&R Stomp and stuff. How's that? See y'all. 7-3. It's a freaking madhouse!
On every syllable, Jimmy, my voice can go in there. Every syllable should hit the end of the mark. Also, what have you got your treble, your TX treble set to?
Gracias por ahí, Virgilio. 5-9 para ti también, bonita semana.